in a very threatening way.
2.
Showing speed ups and dinking. Great aggressive dink. Very good defense from Rex as well.
Rex has a lot of extra paddle movement to fool the opponent.
Yeah, lots of flair. Skips up the line. As some of you guys may know, the lines are a little slicker. So it would skid of the line if it bounces on the line.
Nice flick from Rex right there. Down the middle.
0-2-2.
Wow, really good fourth. I thought the drive was great, but Andrew C. handled that like a champ.
Very nice, powerful volley. That's the pressure you want as the returning team to make sure that side out happens.
Wow.
Nice. A little bit of a premature speed up from Andrew Angulo. However, they got away with it.
Point.
Nico pulling the trigger a little too early at the wrong time.
3-0-2.
Yeah, you also have to realize on the ends of the net, it's higher.
Side out.
So you can't hit the same shot you would if you were pulling it through the middle of the net.
Correct.
0-3-1.
Nice deep return from Rex. Great aggressive dink out of the air from Andrew Castellanos.
0-3-2.
Ooh, a little bit of a switch mix-up, but he gets himself out of it. Nice.
That's a tough volley and a full stretch from Castellanos.
1-3-2.
Good pressure from Rex. Keeping those dinks nice and deep. Making Nico volley out of the air.
3-1-1.
Which, if you have doubts, they're tough to handle. Great pressure from Angulo.
Second serve.
Okay.
Sorry, we had a little mix-up of the
3-1-2.
names. We've been calling Maddox Andrew by accident. We'll fix that. Nice drive from Maddox.
That was Rex.
Oh, shoot. Nice drive from Rex.
Now Maddox is serving.
4-1-2.
Got his name sorted out. Big fan of Rex's drive.
Yep.
Low and powerful.
Maddox there to clean it up.
Yep.
Adding a little yup
5-1-2.
at the end there. Oh, he set it up perfectly. I think he got a little too excited.
A little too excited. Again, big swing, big miss. Those are the mistakes that you cannot have when you have the ball that you've been expecting to have.
Rex just has to laugh that one off.
Yep.
Little wind carried it, held it in the air a bit longer.
Yep.
2-5-1. Point.
Okay. Few unforced errors from Rex and Maddox. Let's see if they're able to get back on track. I like the shimmy from Maddox, putting pressure, keeping them doubting.
Point.
Great flick down the line from Angulo. That's a tough shot to master.
Yeah, I think a double-edged sword, when you move a lot,
4-5-1.
Rex does a good job with a lot of the extra flare stuff, but sometimes you can get caught with body shots.
serve.
Yeah. Aggressive play from Nico, rushing in
4-5-2.
out of a drive. If your opponents are sitting on those volleys, it's a very low percentage
Yeah.
Point.
play.
Too
Great.
high of a dink.
Yeah, way too high. Great job from Angulo, putting that pressure, capitalizing on that pop-up out of the air and putting that volley away.
5-5-2.
Great drop. Great footwork from everybody.
Yeah.
Side
A
out.
little too much out of the corner.
Yeah.
In those situations when you're really pushed to the side, you're just better off just getting it over right down the
5-5-1.
middle. Nothing fancy. Give yourself one more chance back into the point. And Angulo wanted a little too much.
Second serve.
Nice volley from Nico, bailing them out of a very good drive from Rex. Maddox
5-5-2.
couldn't keep that volley low.
Point.
Okay. Unforced error from Nico in the return.
6-5-2.
As we've said in the previous matches, those errors in the volleys, in the returns, add up. Great dink out of the air from
Wow.
Angulo.
Great defense. Oh, but
Side
just
out.
too much.
Angulo with a stare down.
5-6-1.
Great pickup from Angulo.
Second serve.
Really good angle.
Great angle from Rex. Those are not
5-6-2.
easy shots. Very impressive.
Side out.
I think Nico is feeling the pressure. I've seen one too many unforced errors from Nico.
Yeah, I think Maddox and Rex are doing a good job
6-5-1.
keeping their dinks aggressive and kind of showing and faking some speed ups,
Yep.
keeping Nico and Andrew on their
Second serve.
toes.
Yeah, Maddox and Rex definitely looking like
6-5-2.
the better team as of right now, in control. Big fan of Rex's drive.
Yeah.
Very powerful, very low. And Maddox very proactive, putting lots of pressure, crashing in. They're giving me Ben and
7-5-2.
Antario vibes. Lots of pressure, putting. Good job from Rex, keeping that ball nice and low after a soft punch volley.
Oh!
Side
Yeah,
out.
I like the Ernie, but who is it? Nico?
Nico.
had his paddle in the right spot.
Great reaction from Nico.
5-7-1.
Bailing their team out of that top position, out of Rex. Great Ernie anticipation.
Oh, a little
And
dead spot.
Point.
The ball just died on Rex. Okay. However, he was a little tall with his legs. I would have liked to see a little more of engagement with those legs from Rex, but a little too casual.
6-7-1.
I think that's something that you keep seeing from great players at a young age. And at times they look like 6-0s, but then sometimes
Second serve.
their talent could backfire as well by being a little on the lazy side.
6-7-2.
Nico
Side out.
read it,
Yep.
however couldn't execute or couldn't make good contact on that counter. But he was right there.
7-6-1.
That middle was close.
Second serve.
That's a tough dink from the corner with topspin. Usually in those cases, in those situations, off balance, you just want to slice it or flat it out. Just a nice dink
Point.
to the middle.
Timeout
Okay.
receiver 8-6-2.
Nothing too fancy out of the corner, so unless you.
Time in. 8-6-2.
like. Yeah, that
Side
was
out.
unfortunate. But I was going to say, I really like Maddox's court presence. Even when he's not hitting the ball, he's
6-8-1.
big in the middle and pressuring the other team to hit a small target.
Agree. They're definitely
Second serve.
put pressure in every shot. I'm very impressed. Good footwork,
6-8-2.
good pressure, good court coverage overall. Their first 4 shots are nice and clean. Oh, wow.
That was slippery.
Very impressive from Maddox. With a speed up, these guys down the line with a little bit of slice.
8-6-1.
That is not an easy shot. Nice drop with topspin.
Point.
And Rex find the right pocket, the right side, which is
9-6-1.
the target that you want to find on your opponent. So he definitely had time to.
Oh, got
Second
ahead of
serve.
himself. Classic hand over the mouth.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do.
Good look
9-6-2.
from Rex. Remaining aggressive. And makes an adjustment in the next third shot. As many amateurs question their coaches, what's better, a drive or a drop? And like Rex,
Oh, that's amazing.
and as Rex just previously showed, he was able to showcase both of the shots to
6-9-1.
perfection. A nice drive, however, couldn't capitalize on the point, and then make an adjustment, and the next point was a drop.
Nice. I like the energy from Andrew right now. Good partner communication between the two.
7-9-1.
Angulo and Nico definitely bringing up the energy
Second serve.
in crunch time to finish this first game.
7-9-2.
Let's see if Rex and Maddox can get the side out.
Oh, nice.
Great point from Nico. Nice ATP and closing in the gap as he fell behind the court. Saw that ball floating
8-9-2.
and stepped in.
Timeout receiver 8-9-2.
Yeah, good timeout.
I'm really impressed with the consistency of the thirds. Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's a very smart volley. Sometimes when you're crashing in, you want to hit it to the person crashing, because they're looking for the poach. So very smart from Angulo, keeping Maddox honest.
Point.
Oh, wow.
Side out.
All right.
Nico felt the pressure. I think that is the first
9,
third
10,
of the
1.
match that any of these 4 young men missed. And in what a time. Let's see if he's gonna be costly to Nico. Great footwork from Angulo.
Looks like they're targeting Rex's backhand right now. Oh, wow.
Second serve.
That was a ballsy lob right there, but it worked.
Yeah, sometimes those lobs throw you off.
9-10-2.
I think many of you hearing, tuning in with us would agree that sometimes there is nothing more annoying than playing against a lobber, a lobster as they call
Side
it.
out.
Because that makes you jump, that makes you
Game
move,
point.
that throws you off balance.
10-9-1.
So very, very impressive from Angulo with that decision making. Took a chance and paid off.
St. John's.
Game 2.
0-0-2.
Interesting lineup there with Andrew in the middle while Nico serves. Never seen that before.
You called it. Andrew was a little too close to the middle, and that's okay as long as they talk, as long as there is communication between them to make sure both know whose ball is who. So there is nothing wrong in ball hogging a little bit as long as you're letting your partner know that that ball is yours. Nice aggressive thing from all of them.
Yep.
Great defense.
Seems like they're always targeting Rex. But Rex has great dinks in my opinion. So maybe I'm missing something that they know that I don't, but...
Maybe Maddox is a better dinker, a little more dangerous from the kitchen. And that's what we may be seeing right now. Rex being targeted.
Side out.
And again.
Seems like all their speed ups are going middle, and these two are having a tough time communicating.
Yep.
0-0-1.
I think Rex is trying to cover a little too much. Because as you know, if you go down the line, that's usually covered with two hands. The body is usually covered with one hand. Or if you're able to slide out early enough, you still can commit to two hands, but then your right side, you want to trust your partner a little more. However, that was a great spot, nice and in the right pocket. Great crash from Nico. Lots of pressure putting in to Maddox volley and caused the unfortunate error. Great drive from Andrew. Oh.
Side out.
Too much. You think that was a headshot? Because that was not really going in.
There's a little chirping going on. There's a little chirping. Rex said, "What the heck was that?" And then Andrew had some words.
Yeah, great crash by Nico right there off a great drive by Andrew.
Very good crash by Nico. Love seeing the energy, love seeing them proactive, looking for ways to put balls away, looking for those pop-ups, because that's what you're waiting for all the time.
Yep.
Okay, a ball that floats a little more, an attackable ball, and they're being able to capitalize in a very nicely way.
Yeah.
Nico was there.
Andrew left it up.
Yep, Andrew definitely popped it up. And Nico did read it. He was sliding to the right to favor his backhand counter. However, it was not enough.
Second serve. Zero, 3-2.
Angulo showing some energy, letting Rex know that he's there. Constant eye contact. Great flick. Very impressive from Nico. From down there and found the spot on Rex. Rex was sitting forehand, and Nico was able to find a very small target on Rex's left shoulder.
Second serve.
Nice punch volley from Rex. Finding that angle.
3-0-2. Side out.
The net bailed Rex out. That's a great attack by Andrew.
0-3-1.
But Rex reflexes came in handy.
Oh.
Up here. Second serve.
I think Rex was going to call Andrew for saying yeah too
0-3-2.
early, but it ended up hitting.
Yeah, it was a bag.
Yeah.
It was a body shot.
Side out.
Rex feeling the pressure.
Yep.
Feeling the pressure. I mean, we saw
3-0-1.
his accolades earlier, being #1 in all 3 categories. And now you have these underdogs really letting them know that they want a piece of him. He's got a target in his bag. And let's see if he can do something about it. Can fight back.
Point.
Great spot from Andrew.
Timeout receiver, 5-0-1.
Rex, because the majority of balls are going his way.
Second serve.
Never mind. They actually
switched?
stacked. Okay.
They listen to one.
5-0-2.
Yeah. Maddox getting big in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maddox needs to
Lucky
step
there,
it
but
up.
I really did like the setup.
Yep. Maddox and Rex definitely notice the trend, adjust it,
0-5-1.
and let's see if they can make this second game a little bit more interesting.
Nice. And they're still targeting Rex on the right side, I see. But
Yep.
Rex had a good
1-5-1.
backhand counter in the middle there.
Yeah, Rex was ready. Rex knows that those are coming. Great aggressive thing from Rex. Good disguise. Lots of talent. Lots of talent. Big fan of all these four players.
Serve.
On first error from Maddox.
1-5-2.
In a way, Nico's and Andrew's targeting Rex cooled Maddox down. And now an easy shot turns into
Side out.
an unforced error. Andrew read that very promptly,
5-1-1.
was sitting on that counter and finished it in 2. Great hands from Andrew, very impressive. Good job from Miko slowing it down, putting pressure on Rex. Yeah, Rex gotta step it up.
6-1-1.
Maddox needs to get big in the middle.
Oh, a
Point.
little slice.
A little slice, great disguise.
Gave him a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah.
If you remember, Maddox did that in the first game.
Yeah.
7-1-1.
Those unorthodox shots sometimes work out very nicely. Good flick. Oh, great hands from all four. Nico just being a little late on that last counter. Had the paddle a little too close to him in that last counter. Sometimes when you're trying to counter, you want to go more by maybe taking time away, keeping that volley, that counter nice and low, in compared to
7-1-2.
generating power. A low counter goes a longer way than a fast counter, because if that
Point.
counter is high, it still is in the strike zone of your opponents.
Quite impressed with that speed up. It was really low.
8-1-2.
Indeed. I like how Nico remains very, very proactive in those poaches.
Point.
Andrew is finding Rex's right shoulder over and over, and he's paying off.
Running away with this game.
Big lead from the underdogs.
9-1-2. Side out.
Nico wanted maybe a freebie, possibly a weak return. However, with the wind behind, it was a little
1-9-1.
too much. Let's see if Maddox and Rex can have a good run here.
Second
Great,
serve.
great volley from Andrew. Rex did not expect to go that high and got a paddle on that ball
1-9-2.
more for survival more than anything. I think it was closer to his face.
Yeah. Oh, little
Side out.
scorpion.
Nico with the scorpion, read that, anticipated. I think his scorpion was actually going out.
9-1-1.
However, worked out.
Oh, big drive.
Great drive from Andrew. Amazing drop.
Second serve.
Yeah, no, that's one of my problems. I'll hit a good drop and then think I can hit a 7th drive.
Yep.
You need to drop it right there to
Yep,
get in.
yep.
9-1-2.
Sounds good.
Side out. 191.
All right, let's see if Rex and Maddox can make something out of this run.
Second serve.
Maddox rather fancy on those takebacks.
Yeah.
I like what he was thinking, but the execution was
192.
not there at the end. It's hard to have control out of
Side
your
out.
strokes with such a big swings, especially in pickleball. In tennis, sometimes it can pay off. That means power.
911.
But in pickleball, since you want a good mix between finesse and power, big swings are not your friend. Great aggressive ding from Andrew.
Yeah. Andrew looking at the crowd, like, give me some love.
Yep. He knows. He knew he hit a good shot. He wanted some reassurance from the crowd. Nice deep serve. Good deep return.
Second serve. Match point.
Let's see if Nico can close it out.
10-1-2.
Again, that pressure from Nico. Oh my God.
Point game
Wow,
match.
what a way to close
Congratulations.
the
What a way to close it indeed. That's when you can tell someone has fast hands. When you're covering the middle, your own body, and also you get to